welcome back to Relatively Speaking.
Happy New Year.
First pod of 2025. We're going to start this one off in a somber mood.
Somber for you.
Yes, because I was just
I feel
told,
like my weight has been lifted upon off of my shoulders.
I was just told prior to shooting, which should have been saved for the pod, so you could see my instant reaction. That
Instant replay. He's
Jeremy
still just as pissed though.
is out on the
I'm out.
on the marathon that we've been training for.
Well, you've been training for. I've been hobbling along.
So I'm going to give you the floor to explain yourself, and then I am going to lay into you. But why don't you tell the listeners why you decided to leave me in the dust? I'm not going to call you a quitter. Or tell
you did already though.
Oh, yes. Some extracurricular words were thrown out prior to this.
No, it's so.
And I could tell that this was weighing on him. So
Yeah,
this is going to be a little bit difficult.
When we came in this morning, he knew because I stopped asking about run times and distances but like we had talked about with a couple weeks ago, just I felt like I kept getting hurt, and the biggest reason was one of the biggest reasons is I just don't trust my body right now. And maybe I'm saying it jokingly, maybe I actually think it's going to happen, but I just feel like it would be really hard to recover from getting hurt and having to get like carted off of the race, especially being that there's probably going to be people there that I know or have seen, and they're going to be like, "Oh, were you the guy that got carted out of the race because you collapsed?"
Yeah.
So that was a part of it too. But this was the first training where I felt like obviously the training can be stressful or there's anxiety around long runs, but it was more of even just the excitement of getting out and going for a long run was gone.
Yeah.
And I know that it's not always going to be the case where you can just not do something because you don't have that excitement about it, but just recognizing that I really needed that to be something that was cathartic and something that was, life-giving when I'd go out and do it.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't felt like that. And then when you add into the fact that I haven't had injuries or things that were prohibiting me from running happen to me before. And I had 3 happen in the course of a month. So,
well, I will say too, one of the things, we've never ran a marathon this time of the year, and maybe for you didn't feel any different, but I have felt it's more difficult to get up to run early in the morning when it's dark, when it's cold, when it's rainy, through Thanksgiving, through Christmas, into New Year's. Like typically this is kind of when people start to restart, or when you start maybe training for a spring or a summer or something like that. And I can now say I am in like peak running form where it's like been pretty difficult to get to that. But you were saying, obviously, you have fears of being hurt, but what are the injuries that you're dealing with? We talked previously that you hurt your back about a month ago.
Back and hips. I think it's called your pelvic floor. Mine was all out of alignment. And then this last weekend, I'd been doing like extended farmer carries, like walking up the street and back, and not with heavy weights, really, just like 35-pound kettlebells. So nothing insane, but this was the first, after I did the workout on Friday, I had like my whole groin and area was
like a strain. You
strained and swollen, and really freaked me out. I was like, what the hell is going on? So I thought, oh, maybe it's just my hips are out of alignment.
Instantly goes to the worst place.
Yeah, worst case scenario, like, oh God, like, do I need to go to the doctor? And, all of that. So when that was kind of the last thing where I was like, okay, something mentally, I'm dealing with a little bit of fear about being hurt or being like unable to do basic functions, right? But yeah, my back, and then, some hip stuff, which is all normal when you're doing like big distances. It's just like discomfort, but this is different. This isn't like, oh, my feet hurt because I just ran 30 miles this week or whatever. It's not that. It's been actual like unalignment of my hips and my back, and just like things that I've never dealt with before. And we've talked about it. Maybe it's getting older, the time of year, the temperature outside, who knows what it is.
Yeah.
But I just, as much of a Glansberg thing as it is to do, it has to be done. And,
Well, it's like kind of that old saying you'd hear in sports and stuff too. Like, are you hurt or are you injured? Like
I've never heard that before. What does that mean?
Like everybody's hurt. Everybody that's playing sports is hurt, but are you hurt and you can deal with it and you can continue to play?
Interesting.
Or are you injured? Because an injury is going to prevent you from continuing.
Interesting.
Are everybody's got bumps and bruises. Everybody's got nicks.
Yeah.
And you got to
push
know in your mind whether or not you can battle through it, or if you're injured, you physically can't go, and trying to go is just going to, hurt you worse. So maybe in this case we have an actual injury on our hands.
I mean, but the problem is none of them are like lingering, right? The back thing was a week or so, and each one of them has been a setback in not meeting the mileage goal for the training block, which is added to.
So now it's just felt underprepared.
Underprepared. You're getting ready to do a 20 this weekend, and I'm like, can I go do 12? And I think too, it's hard because I know for me, like normally, 20, 25 mile weeks, pretty normal for each of us, but that's been hard for me to get back to that the last couple of weeks. And, so to think, it's still 3 weeks away, but to think I'm going to go from, 20 to 35 to 40 and then do my weekly distance in one day, 3 weeks from now, feels crazy. But that hurt versus injured thing's interesting. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Obviously not, in that sports world, but,
that's a kind of a old school way of thinking.
Which reminds me of what I was going to say is like, I'm not like hurt versus injured. Like the hurts or the injuries, they're not like lingering, right? I don't have any pain as I'm sitting here right now. My back feels good. My knees feel good. My hips feel good. Everything feels fine. But there's that thing that's like, well, what's the next thing? And I've never had that mindset before. I've never been waiting for the other shoe to drop. That's never been my mentality. But with running right now, that's how I feel. And I don't know. It sucks, but it is what it is.
I know. Because this bomb was dropped on me 10 minutes ago. My instant reaction was far more extreme than it is right now. So I'm trying not to just completely shit on you again.
Do it.
Because it's just not as genuine as it was originally, because I was kind of just in disbelief and thought you were being a little bit of a...
Say it.
Yeah. But it... I don't know, dude. It just, like you said, and we have different, and it's not to compare or anything. Both of us were totally different people, and that's kind of what we feel like makes our friendship work, makes this podcast work. Yeah. We have different views, different mindsets. Not to say one is better than the other, but I've kind of just always like looked at things and like even just from that phrase, like playing sports and stuff my whole life. Like I just have like that mindset when I do something. Like I feel like you almost have chosen running because you just are enjoying it, and it's helping you with your mental health. It's helping you stay in shape. It's helping you with clarity. Whereas I have kind of approached it more as like, let me see how good I can get at this. And there's like a difference in that. Yeah. Like
for sure.
like the first marathon that I ran, and when you see, and it's just gnarly, like people that have been running for forever, like I said, I wasn't some great athlete, but I've been playing sports, my whole life at a pretty competitive level. And it's like when you see like a 50-year-old guy that's like in front of you and finishes in front of you in the marathon, and you're 31, 32, whatever it was at the time, or like people that may even look out of shape, like keeping up with, it's just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, how is that the case? You see like older women that are way out ahead of you. You're just like, how is a 60-year-old woman faster than me? Like, what? And then that's what's like driven me to just like, okay, let me see. Like, and when I've had trouble like with cramping and stuff, and feeling like, dang, dude, my body is shutting down. I can't like go that hard for that long. It's now gotten me to be like, what can I do to improve that and prevent that? And just like, so I feel like in both of our cases, like, not to say, cause you've been pretty open that it sucks for you to do it, but I feel like you're kind of taking it more as like, well, if I can't do it and it's not as enjoyable for me, what's the point?
Totally.
Type thing.
Yeah. That's an interesting way to phrase it when you said, it's almost like the hobbyist and the not like, I wouldn't say like professional, but you know what I mean? Like it's there's that component of it for you where you're like, wait, how fast can I get?
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, I think, and to be completely honest, I think for a long time in this process, especially since like you've moved here and we've been able to run together more, which is awesome. I love doing that. But there's also a part of me that's like, I know I'm slowing him down, but also to me, it's like, okay, I can accept like trying to keep up with you both in pace when we're on a run, but also like in your pursuit of trying to get better at running, trying to get faster or cut your marathon time down or whatever. Where me, I'm just like, I don't know if that's what I want, and maybe it'll change. Like maybe I'll get, who knows? I don't know. But it's an interesting way to phrase it when you're thinking of my mindset versus your mindset of yours is how, and not to be not improving, but to me, it's like every time I go run, I feel better. So like that's improvement.
Yeah.
And for you have that same thing, but there's also this component of I'm 10 seconds faster than I was the last time I ran 10 miles or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's very much looking at heart rate, looking at splits, looking at and stuff. So,
and this damn watch I got for Christmas is telling me that I'm a piece of shit. So that's fun. Dude, literally, it says training
the Garmin crew.
Training readiness, you should rest is what it says.
Really?
Training readiness. Yeah, 1. Poor. Training readiness poor.
That's pretty funny.
But
there's all those memes.
The memes,
about
the
that.
Apple Watch is super encouraging, and Garmin's just like, you suck.
Yeah.
Your heart rate's too slow. You're fat.
Well, that's when your
heart rate's too fast. You're running too slow. Your body battery's drained. I was like, how do I fix this? What's wrong with? No, it's funny.
The watch is legit though, right?
Oh, dude, I love it. It's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out.
And if you're trying to text me or call me and I'm not getting back to you as soon as I would before, it's because I don't get anything on this now. It's all turned off. It's literally just a watch and a health thing. So
needed a little reset.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
it's
you
awesome.
used your watch for everything.
Well, I use my watch when I use my phone.
Yeah, you would answer on your watch.
Yeah, which is great. That was my mind. The minute I got this was, how does this incorporate into the Apple world? And Apple Fitness has the fitness rings, steps ring, exercise minutes, and then calories. Garmin doesn't fill any of those rings. So it's like, well, you're not going to be filling these rings anymore. And I was just showing somebody when I was like, oh, I have to let go of this. And my mind just doesn't want to.
Do you look at your steps on it though and stuff?
Yeah, I have all that. And I have the Garmin Connect app on my phone now. So I'm using that the same way as, as I was before, but I just hate change. So
Yeah.
but it's great. No, it's and I haven't charged it.
I know, dude. It's crazy how much longer it lasts.
It's
I charge mine like once a week.
Yeah.
I usually charge it, and maybe not even, but usually like Friday night before. So I know like on Saturday when I'm doing a long one,
Right,
I'll
it's
have
ready.
it fully
Does
charged.
your training readiness thing, do you notice that moving? Like, or is it just...
Is that like the body battery and stuff?
Well, the body battery changes in the morning, but like there's a training readiness thing. They'll tell you how long you have to recover, from a
Yeah,
run.
yeah. Usually after the run, it comes up right away, and
Yeah.
it says like, I think it tells you like for full recovery, like you need like 24 hours or something.
Mine
like
has been like 88 hours.
Has it actually been like a
Literally
lot like that?
after my run yesterday, it said you need 72 hours to recover.
Yeah. Like I've seen sometimes when it's like a bigger one that it'll be like 30 something hours, or like you're back at 27 or whatever,
Crazy.
which is actually, pretty nuts to think
Well,
about.
even after I didn't do anything on Sunday, and my training readiness thing yesterday morning still said poor. So I don't know if it's just because it's new and it's getting to know me, or it just knows me so well right out of the box.
It just
You need to
knows.
rest.
Yeah. You need to just pull those covers back up to your chin
You
and
should
roll over.
Rest. Yeah,
Get nice and toasty in that bed.
but it's good. You know, I mean, what are you gonna do, dude? We're just the sum of the decisions we make. Some of them are right, some of them are wrong, and maybe I'll regret it, but at this moment it feels like the right thing, and maybe I'll change my mind that morning. And
Do you
Put my
think
shoes on.
that this means you're not going to attempt another one?
no, I'm just not going to do this one.
So so
I'm not
you've
done.
done two
Yeah.
already, and you think you'll try and do another one.
I'll definitely, well, it's not to say definitely, but I'm not, this isn't a like pin in the cap. I'm done, done with the marathon thing.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't think I need to do more than one a year,
Yeah.
And maybe that's a part of it too.
Well,
It's
we
like,
need to look. We should try and
We
find
gotta
a
do the
good
Avenue of the
one
Giants
in-
one. I sent
in
it to you.
spring.
it's in May. It's on the coast. It's through the redwoods.
Which would be epic. Is it a trail run though?
I think it's a hybrid. I think it's I don't know. We have to look. I don't think it would be anything technical. You could do it it would be like a fire service roads, where it's just like a dirt road. But
Yeah, that somebody at the what's the shoe store called here? Not Roadrunner. We don't
Fleet
have that
Feet?
here. Fleet Feet.
yeah.
Yeah, when I went into there, one of the women was telling me about that one and saying that that's like the marathon that she would recommend the most. Because I don't think we talked about it on the podcast about when we did the half, how just poorly marked it was, and the fact that I just didn't do the course.
You tried to cheat.
So typically, I lived in Orange County, and I've only done the OC marathon. I've done the half once and the full 3 times. But it's
So
like,
this is your 4th marathon then.
yeah.
Nice.
And I didn't know, that's all I knew. But it's like a big deal. It's like 3,000 people that do
Well,
it.
it's I think the budget for it is insane versus this was put on by like the Kiwanis or something. Koala Bears. What is it? Yeah,
So
Kiwanis.
it's
Elks
like,
Club.
there's like no way that you could ever get off course. There's so many people running it, and it's marked so well that there's like no way you could go the wrong way.
Right.
So we come here to do the Reading half.
Yeah.
Neither of us had done it. We sign up, and when I go to like get my like pack or whatever, I asked how many people were signed up, and I think for the half there was like 60 people. And I was like, what? And so we run it, and at one point, I think it's after about 7 miles or something, it's on the trail that I run every day, and there's a turnoff that you had to hit and do like a little loop to get yourself 2 more miles. And so, but it's like not marked, and it was right after a aid station, and I just zoomed past it. I'm wearing the thing on my
Did you
shirt.
have it on your leg or your
I can't
chest?
remember where I had it, but it was
Visible?
It could have been seen. Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I had the thing on, and there's nobody out there running, so I'm a part of it, dude. And I just go past it, and I'm going across the bridge. Then after that, I'm going to do the loop to get to Sundial. I probably at that point have about 2 or 3 miles to go. And the first place guy is coming up behind me, and he like passes me. And as he's passing me, I know that I'm not in first place, but also there's like nobody around. Like I knew I was doing pretty well, but there's no way I was going to be in first. So, and I'm like, how many miles are you at? And he's like, 11.2 or something. And I'm at like 8.8. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, no way. So I'm like panicking. I'm like, bro, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
I'm like, I just get there and just pretend that I just like got freaking second or something. So I'm like, no way. So instead of like turning where I was supposed to, I just like went back through the course, and like a few people like saw me and they're like, you're going the wrong way. I'm like, no, I have to make up for not doing something.
I'm lost.
So then I turn around and I think I get myself like back on track, and I end up like finishing. But when I go through the finish line, I'm focusing on my watch now at this point because I'm all thrown off. So I finish at like 12.9 or something instead of 13.1. So I just run through the finish line and like keep going to get to 13.1. And I come back and I'm all heated and I'm like pissed, and I tell the like people, I'm like, the course isn't like, and they're probably like, what is this guy doing? But then I heard other people say it too. But so what then threw me off is I'm like, that's insane. But I made sure that I got it. And then you come in after.
Yeah.
And you did the course, you finished, and your watch told you
12.87.
Like, 12.87. So then you looked at like Strava people, and a lot of people never got to 13.1.
12.85, 12.91.
So
nobody was
the course
at
just
13.1.
wasn't even the right distance.
No.
And I'm like, that's gnarly. But so when I was talking to the people at Fleet Feet, they said that the marathon's like a lot more professional.
Yeah.
So they were like, you probably shouldn't have that issue, but they recommended if you want like the one that they would do that's close to here or whatever is the giant, what is it called?
Avenue of the Giants.
Avenue of the Giants.
I think that's what it's called.
Which would be epic because I've already just wanted to go see the Redwoods.
Yeah.
So doing a race through that would be all time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's mostly paved with maybe some dirt roads. It's definitely not technical, like single track trails or anything.
Well, that would be sick.
But yeah, definitely not out of the marathon game, but just gonna sit this one out.
I'm gonna make you still drive me to the starting
You're not gonna
line.
make me. I offered.
No. You were going to do that regardless.
No, I offered
because I don't know how I would get there otherwise.
I'm trying to. If I can rent
kids.
like one of those bird scooters or something, maybe I can just like float next to you and talk to you on the scooter.
I don't think that that's allowed.
I don't think they'd let me do
I
that.
would love that. The times that the easiest runs that we've had are when we stick
Just
together and
talk.
just chat.
Yeah.
Those ones, like the first time we ever did that was when we did a 10.
Right.
And
You're
that was
just
like
too damn fast now.
No, that was easy. We stayed together.
Before, but this was in September.
You're going to try and
too
tell me
fast.
that you used to be the same speed as me?
No, you're too fast now.
Yeah, I've always been too fast.
No, but you're faster than you were. You're faster now than you were in September.
Probably not.
You are.
I don't know.
You're a piece of shit. Yes, you are.
I did a 10 today pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I almost, we can be friends on the Garmin Connect thing and see each other's activities.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, but I don't want
Yeah,
to do
dude,
that.
I literally, so typically.
Tell us what was your
I
stats
don't
today?
know, to be honest, I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
No, it was obviously
what it is?
sub 8, but I don't know how
was
sub 8. In the 750s.
What was your total time? What was your heart rate?
140.
Well, guys, this is my last appearance on this podcast because I'm going to become a monk.
No, but Jeremy, especially when I first moved here, he would text me his times, text me his runs, ask me what mine were, and I'd be sending him. And probably since he hurt his back, he hasn't really been doing that. So then I start to feel guilty. I'm like, I'm not going to text him that I just crushed this 10-mile run because he already feels like a piece of shit, and I'm going to make him feel worse right now. So I could be that guy, but I'm a nice guy. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to text him that. So I didn't text you today because this is my biggest week I've ever run.
It'll be 45 this week, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
So like I've said, we've just
probably
kind
45 minutes this week, I think.
we've grown in our kind of learning about what to do for marathons. And in my previous trainings, I just wasn't running enough. I've always kind of run the same, like long run miles, but my miles during the week just weren't long enough. I would run 3, 5, 6, like something like that, where now I'm doing more 7s and 10s and things like that. So yeah, I have a 45-mile week this week. And I just was like, I'm not going to text him about it. He hasn't said anything to me. And then we get here and he's kind of like quiet. And I'm just like, are you doing the marathon? And he's like, no, I'm out. I'm like, shut up. Can't tell if he's just messing with me. Then he starts to tell me how his body broke on him. So, yes, a few 4-letter words were thrown out there.
Love the 4-letter words.
And I wasn't too happy about it, but I'm going to let it slide. Now I'm feeling like I have a chauffeur to drive me there, and I'm going to have you probably meet me halfway to give me some type of drink or bar or something. I feel like that would be good. I don't know where we would do that, but I was thinking, I was honestly thinking if Sip could maybe do that, but now if you're not running it, I'm going to ask if you can.
Yeah, no, there's this.
Because there are water stations, I don't trust them.
Well, they do, and they're supposed to have like electrolytes too, but yeah, there's a bunch of different places that we could do that. What's your pace goal or time, marathon time goal?
I don't know. I had one for the half, and I've had
which
ones,
you met.
Kind of. I don't count it. I didn't meet it technically. I wanted to be sub 140, and like I said, I don't really know where I was, but I was at like 141-ish or something. Right. So I came up just a little short. But the sub 140 was like, that was my last one. I think I did was like 152. Oh, so I was like trying to, and I was trying to push it. But yeah, this one, if I could be sub 8-minute miles for the entire thing.
Does that feel pretty, like you don't feel like you're pushing right now?
No, right now. But that's just what's hard is like I can do that fairly easily. I did that for the 16 and stuff. But I don't know if it's a mental thing or what, but the jump to get to the full 26, like that jump, the 21, 22, 23, 20, like those miles at the end are where I've had difficulty, where my times have really like 30 seconds, a minute slower in those last ones. And so I've really tried to increase that in strength and push it towards the end. Like I usually on all my runs, I've been trying to have my last mile be my fastest and stuff like that. So I think I can do, which I don't even really necessarily know what time that is. But yeah, about an 8-minute pace for the 26.2 would be.
Have you done lovely. Like since you're in peak, have you done just an all out 1 mile to see how fast you are?
No, I want to go to a track and do it, but I started incorporating more. I think they're like called tempo runs and stuff.
Yeah, you said you do one fast, one slow.
Yeah, I do one fast, one slow. Yep. Start incorporating those a little bit more, which is good. So, it'll be like I don't know, like a 7:20 mile, and then I'll do like an 8:20, and then go back and forth.
And 7:20 is fast as.
But yeah,
shit.
if I did a full like sprint for one, I'm curious.
Yeah,
I think I could definitely. I haven't
done that in a long time, so I have no idea what mine would be. But
yeah. That would be cool. I want.
I wouldn't
to,
do it now. I'd wait and do it like after, just because who knows, your shit could just snap.
Yeah. No, I don't want to do it now. But yeah, this was a lot of talk about running. So hopefully, but I hope it's interesting too, because
Well, I think it should, the reason I wanted to not just text you and be like, hey, I'm out. I did this on purpose was because I think it does show it creates an opportunity for us to talk about this, obviously, which is a big thing because it's something we dedicate a lot of time to. But I also think it shows the differences in the way our brains work and how we're wired. And that's the whole reason we're sitting here in the first place. But
yeah, we're definitely different in a lot of ways, but you know, they say opposites attract.
Yeah.
So
we're both mostly straight.
Semi.
But we got a good lineup this month. We got some guests coming on. Not this week, but next week we'll have a first guest. So we'll see how that goes. Got to figure out how to lay that out.
Yeah, the seating arrangements and stuff, and what we'll do. But that'll be sick.
Yeah,
Super stoked on that. And then we'll just keep this thing going weekly. And appreciate you guys tuning in. Anything else you want to add?
If we're still friends, we'll be back next week, but we'll see. We might break up. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
All right. Thanks again, guys.
See you guys.
Yeah.